11 News. Coverage you can count on.
Good afternoon. So nice to see you today. I'm Jennifer Tomazic. We are just 12 hours away from the end of 2020, and Severe Weather Team 11 meteorologist Jessica Faith is in with us today. So, you know, Jess, those roads were a little bit slick this morning because we had that snow. So what's in for the store for the rest of the day?
Well, nothing falling from the sky as we go into the second half of the day, the last few hours of 2020. We'll be good to go. Temperature-wise, it's still pretty cold outside. Temperatures near that freezing mark. 32 in Greensburg, 33 Pittsburgh, 32 in Beaver. So anything that looks wet on the roadways may actually be frozen. So still be careful as you head out and about this afternoon and this evening. Temperatures getting just a little bit better, hanging on to a good bit of cloud cover. Maybe later this afternoon, a peak or two of sunshine, but we're going to keep it mostly cloudy today. Temperatures getting into the mid to upper 30s for the high, so not very warm today. Coming up, I'm going to talk about New Year's Day, our next best shot for abundant rain, and also what you can expect for the weekend.
All right, Jessica, thanks so much. A live look for you right now at the countdown clock to 2021. You will notice now we are under 12 hours away, just by like a minute from the new year. But no doubt most of us probably are ready to say bye-bye to this year. But because of the pandemic, how we do that will probably look a lot different. Channel 11's Mike Holden has a message from health and safety officials about what is and what isn't allowed.
New Year's Eve here in downtown Pittsburgh will certainly look and feel very different this New Year's Eve. Normally this space would be jam-packed with people celebrating. This go-around, not the case. Officials are now stressing to everyone to stay at home and stay safe. The Pittsburgh Cultural Trust Highmark First Night is hitting pause on in-person New Year's Eve celebrations this year. Tens of thousands of people would usually gather downtown to watch the future of Pittsburgh Ball rise, snap photos of the fireworks, and enjoy live performances and concerts. COVID-19 has changed all of that, and in-person celebrations have been totally canceled. Regardless, public safety officials say they're still on high alert and keeping a close eye. They're asking everyone to celebrate responsibly in the comfort of your own home. Public safety stresses to not shoot off any sort of celebratory gunfire. Also, remember, city law prohibits all fireworks. And of course, officers will be patrolling the greater Pittsburgh area for any drunk drivers in an effort to keep everyone safe. Folks we spoke with say 2020 has been rough, but staying home this year is just the right thing to do.
I just wish everybody would adhere to a plan so we can get over this and get over the hump. But I'm more afraid of people who went out for Christmas and going out for New Year, that it's just going to explode again.
And the Pittsburgh Cultural Trust hopes to resume efforts for next New Year's Eve. I'm now working to talk with them about their future plans and why they believe that this is the best option in place. For Channel 11 News starting at 5 o'clock tonight. Reporting downtown, Mike Holden, Channel 11 News.
Now remember, you can grab some takeout from your favorite restaurant to enjoy at home this New Year's Eve. You still can't eat inside a restaurant until Monday. That is when the governor will let his 3-week restrictions expire. So that means come Monday, indoor dining, gyms, theaters, and casinos can open back up, and high school sports can resume. And we'll talk a little bit more about that a little bit later in the show. And the goal was to slow the spread of the virus, and the governor says lifting the order does not mean that we are out of the woods, though. New at noon, the Allegheny County Health Department just released its latest COVID numbers for this last day of the year. There have been 811 new cases reported in the last 24 hours. The ages range from 3 weeks to 103 years old. The median age is 50. 10 more people also died, and those deaths date back to December 2nd. We have a live look at the Capitol for you this afternoon. The Senate is still in session today. They are expected to vote to override the president's veto of a crucial military spending bill, but they are not expected to approve those larger stimulus checks. NBC's Chris Pallone explains why.
Days after President Trump said it would be a death wish if Republicans failed to back bigger $2,000 stimulus checks, it appears any hope for the increased payments is gone.
The Senate's not going to be bullied into rushing out more borrowed money into the hands of Democrat rich friends who don't need the help.
Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell packaging the measure into a new bill with 2 unrelated measures pushed by President Trump. Democrats say McConnell's move is designed to kill it.
$2,000 checks to the American people? That is a bridge too far? Please.
Some Republicans, like McConnell, say the cost for bigger checks is too high. More than $400 billion would go to some Americans who don't need it.
All that I am asking is give us a vote. What's the problem?
The stalemate means efforts to pass a key military spending bill over the president's veto could go down to the wire, with the current session of Congress ending Sunday. It comes as the Trump administration admits the COVID-19 vaccine rollout is going slower than expected.
Hopefully, as you get into the first couple of weeks in January, the gaining of momentum will get us to the point where we want to be. But there really has to be a lot more effort in the sense of resources for the locals.
In a tweet, the president blamed the states. Some are pointing right back.
There really wasn't a lot of support, no financial support and no real plan.
Administration officials say the pace will pick up soon when retail pharmacies start offering the shots. Chris Pallone, NBC News, Washington.
Pennsylvania has a new tool to track how many people have been vaccinated in our state. You can check it out for yourself if you want. It's a new online dashboard that has info on the number of vaccinations in each county. So far, check this afternoon for you, more than 96,000 people got the shot statewide. Most of them are in Allegheny County. And just over the Christmas holiday, nearly 500 people were vaccinated in Allegheny County. We even got a breakdown of what types of workers got them. They include county employees working in direct care, urgent care, and with health care providers. Some of them work at the medical examiner's office, Schumann Juvenile Detention Center, the Allegheny County Jail, and the Allegheny County Health Department itself. And as more doses of the vaccine become available, some people are still hesitant to get it. A new poll found 60% of people would roll up their sleeves. Most said they would do it for their family's health. The survey also found that telling people that they'll keep their loved ones safe was a more effective tool in convincing people to get the vaccine rather than lecturing them that it is the right thing to do. Health officials are warning about a new strain of coronavirus that has already popped up in 2 places in the U.S. Channel 11's Jacqueline Fell explains why health experts are not surprised.
This new mutant strain, first detected in the United Kingdom and across the globe, has now been found in Colorado and California. Health experts say there will likely be more cases in other states soon. The UK strain may be more contagious, but it doesn't appear to be more deadly. In California, officials say the new strain was identified in a San Diego man who has not traveled outside the U.S. The first case was discovered this week in Colorado. A young man who was in the Colorado National Guard deployed to help at a nursing home outbreak. A potential second case is likely connected.
Whether it's the traditional strain or the variant strain, how fast it spreads in these congregate living settings, in assisted living centers where people live together.
Health experts say current vaccines will likely protect against this new variant. They continue to stress public health guidelines like wearing masks, washing hands, and social distancing. Reporting outside Washington, Jacqueline Fell, Channel 11 News.
The Allegheny County Health Department is calling out restaurants that have stayed open despite COVID restrictions. As the department works on legal cases, some business owners are ready to fight back. One of those restaurants is the Cracked Egg in Brentwood. The Allegheny County Health Department suspended its health permit, but its owners say until there is a court order telling them to shut down, they're staying open. In addition to the Cracked Egg, Allegheny County has forced other restaurants to close for defying state or local health orders. Lawyers for the Cracked Egg will be in court on Tuesday, so will lawyers for the Allegheny County Health Department. Musicians and their venues are really worried right now about their future. A lot of places have closed and others are just hanging on. Channel 11's Alyssa Raymond explains the SOS they hope enough people hear.
Music venues, the first to close, last to return. Signs like these, they've been up since March, and that's why nearly 10 of these places throughout the Pittsburgh area have permanently closed during the pandemic. But now, more than 27 local bands and more than 60 local artists are coming together to get people to listen to this SOS.
We had this grandiose idea of, you know, pulling in every musician we knew in Pittsburgh to be a part of it.
Eric Roger is a guitarist in the band Royal Honey. He also wrote a song last month called SOS 2020. Roger and Bob McCutcheon, the owner of the Vault Recording Studio, pulled musicians together to record Save Our Stages 2020. The purpose, to raise awareness and money for Pittsburgh music venues affected by the pandemic.
Save Our Stages, SOS. it really is a cry for help, and it's a large voice, and I think it comes out in the music.
The song's set to come out on January 8th. Tonight at 5, find out where this idea came from for this song, plus who else benefits from this. Reporting in McKees Rocks, Alyssa Raymond, Channel 11 News.
New at noon, first-time jobless claims fell last week. 787,000 Americans filed for first-time benefits last week. That's according to the U.S. Labor Department, and that's about 19,000 fewer than the week before. In all, about 19 million Americans are receiving some form of unemployment. For the first time in more than 4 decades, the U.S. Census Bureau will miss its end-of-the-year deadline. In fact, the Bureau says numbers probably won't be ready until late January, I should say. By law, the Department of Commerce has to present the 2020 census to the president by today, but there is no penalty for missing the deadline. The Census Bureau says their goal is to complete a useful and accurate count. The census decides how many House seats each state gets and how much federal money goes to local communities. The FCC is trying to protect you from robocalls, so they're adopting restrictions that will limit them to just 3 calls a month. They'll also require the companies that call you not to transmit illegal calls. You can help by reporting when you get a call from a number that you blocked. Let the games begin. The high school sports that can return as soon as Monday. And this local artist disappeared 1 year ago. Why her family is hopeful they'll be reunited one day.
Conditions have cleared out today, but the first day of 2021 looking soggy. I have the latest storm tracker. We'll show you what to expect after the break.
Welcome back. A year later, loved ones are looking for answers after an artist from Hazelwood went missing. Channel 11's Liz Kilmer is learning new information about the last time that anyone saw Toni Turner and how her sister has been coping since she disappeared.
It's been extremely hard. A challenging year, all the more devastating for Sydney Turner and her family, left without answers after her sister, Toni Turner, vanished 1 year ago today.
She's totally irreplaceable. She's a lot of fun. Irreplaceable to me. Like, there's no one who's ever been in my life, who could ever be in my life, that would be like Toni to me. Very fun, very loving, very knowledgeable, and very kind.
Sydney says her sister had visited this tea shop in Squirrel Hill December 30th, 2019, then was reportedly seen on a bus, her typical route to Giddings Street in Hazelwood. But after that, she was never heard from again. And Sydney says some of her belongings were found on the Homestead Grays Bridge.
Still no inkling as to what happened. No idea at all. I just hope she's safe somewhere and that she's happy and that nothing atrocious has happened to her.
Toni was 22 years old at the time of her disappearance, living in Hazelwood, where now candles rest at the base of a mural on the main road made in her honor, bringing life to this brick building. She herself, a talented artist, loved and now missed by many.
Looking at pictures of us last Christmas, which is also our mom's birthday, and like looking at Toni and knowing that I haven't done that in a year, it's unfathomable.
Liz Kilmer, Channel 11 News.
And Channel 11 did reach out to Pittsburgh police, and a spokesperson told us there's no new information to release, but this is still an open investigation. So if you certainly know anything about Toni Turner, please call Pittsburgh police. Kobe Francis is still behind bars this afternoon in West Virginia. He'll be extradited back to Pittsburgh, and his hearing is set for next Monday. He was on the run, though, for more than a week after police say that he shot a McKeesport police officer. That manhunt came to an end Tuesday in Clarksburg, West Virginia.
And when you see something that you just think is wrong, frankly, you feel compelled to do something to help.
And that's local business owner Richard Bazzi. He owns Schultz Ford car dealerships in Allegheny County, and he offered up $5,000 to help find Francis, and law enforcement put up $10,000. Now, we're told the McKeesport police officer who was involved in this will be okay. We have a developing story, kind of a disturbing one here to tell you about out of Bucks County. Hunter Kenneth Heller is accused of shooting and killing a teen. He was out hunting, and he says he thought the 18-year-old was an animal. Investigators say the teen was shot as he was sitting with his girlfriend at the lake. Heller has been charged with homicide.
Your severe weather Team 11 forecast.
We were talking this morning about how the snow would wrap up by midday, and we are all clear across the area. Now, still holding on to thick cloud cover, but nothing falling from the sky. Here's a look right now to show you the dry conditions on live Storm Tracker Doppler 11 radar. So we're good for the rest of the day, for the rest of this year. No rain, no snow. Was another chance I'm going to be able to say that. Now, we look ahead to our next system that will be coming tomorrow for New Year's Day, and you can find the source of that energy in portions of southern Texas. It's going to be swinging our way, increasing our rain chances tomorrow. Now, if you have an early start heading out the door, maybe around 7 o'clock, grabbing a cup of coffee, you'll be fine. You'll still see the clouds, though. It won't be until late morning as we go toward midday that we'll be increasing our rain chances from the south with that system that will be tracking toward the northeast. So here's 10 o'clock. We could be seeing some light showers around Pittsburgh, Beaver, Washington, even around Uniontown, and models have been hinting at kind of a wintry mix involved. That's where you see the purple color. So around midday, Indiana, Kittanning, Butler, even toward Venango County, Franklin into Clarion could be seeing some sort of a mix, but most of us will see mostly rain as we go throughout Friday. Now, notice the coverage. A lot of us getting precipitation into the afternoon hour. So second half of the day, if you have to be on the roadways, whether it's wet or icy, definitely take your time, be careful, and give plenty of space between you and other cars, because we're looking very active throughout the rest of your Friday, first day of 2021. And as we will loosen up activity, but the activity will continue into your Saturday morning. But if I did have to pick a day this weekend where you may want to be out and about, it would be Saturday. Sunday, we're looking at another chance for showers, but a bigger rain chance. In the next half hour, I will show you that storm tracker and really pinpoint when you could see rain, a wintry mix. and where conditions could be icy on Sunday. Saturday, we're just going to deal with those leftover showers from that system on Friday. Most of your day is looking dry, just a spot or two really in the morning hours, maybe an isolated shower during the afternoon, but looking pretty good as we go into the first weekend of this year. Temperatures looking to improve as well, especially with that system coming in from the south. So we're bringing in some warmer air along with the chance for showers. Today, though, staying in the 30s. We were around freezing this morning, this afternoon, not getting too much better than freezing, just a few degrees warmer. 36 degrees for the high, keeping it in the 40s this weekend. For Friday, 47. For Saturday, 48. Dropping it down to 40 degrees for Sunday. Next work week, we're still looking good. Looking dry for right now. 40 degrees for the high on Monday.
High school sports can start back up again now that the governor's order will expire on Monday. We talked a little bit about this earlier, but let's get into the nitty-gritty of this. Sports and other after-school activities were sidelined for 3 weeks because of the governor's order. Now, this delayed the start of a lot of winter sports like swimming and basketball and wrestling. So the PIAA says that teams will have to practice 4 times next week and will need a total of 10 practices between November 20th and when they play another school. So that means that games likely won't start until next Friday, January 8th at the earliest. Remote learning certainly has been hard for kids who don't have the right equipment. So some teachers in New Kensington Arnold School District decided to help. They started a GoFundMe page asking for people to donate money for technology, specifically Google Chromebooks. They set a goal of $1,000, and apparently they met that within an hour. So then they upped the goal to $10,000, and they are already up to $12,000 this afternoon. The teachers hope to get the laptops to struggling students by Monday when virtual learning resumes. You know, our local nonprofits have really been stepping up this year and taking care of so many people. 412 Food Rescue in particular reached a record number of people in 2020. Volunteers pick up surplus foods from restaurants and grocery stores, and then they deliver it to people who need it. According to our partners at the Pittsburgh Business Times, the nonprofit saw its highest number of new app downloads in March. And then throughout the year, this is really neat too, it gained more than 4,500 new volunteers. Some animals are getting a new warm place to stay in New Kensington. Animal Protectors of the Allegheny Valley is having a ribbon cutting ceremony at their new facility today. It's on Church Street, and it will allow the no-kill shelter to expand. So they have 3 times the space for animals, visitors, and volunteers. Keep your pets at home. The airline that will no longer let you fly with certain animals. And parents, listen up. We're going to tell you why Target is recalling some infant clothes and tell you what exactly they are. Latrobe police are looking to add another SUV to their fleet. They told our partners of the Trib they're following suit with what a lot of other police departments are doing, making the switch to SUVs. An outfitted police SUV costs $34,000. Latrobe police rotate their cars out every 3 years, and Latrobe Council will talk about the purchase at their next meeting on Monday. New at noon, Alaska Airlines is the first major U.S. airline to enforce a ban on emotional support animals. Service dogs will still be allowed on board, but starting January 11th, emotional support animals will not be allowed to fly. Flight attendants say they've been bitten or attacked by untrained animals. The Transportation Department revised the Air Carrier Access Act this month, so it no longer considers emotional support animals to be service animals. A person left clinging to a tree after a kayak capsized. In fact, there's a lot of ice that these rescue teams had to cut through, too. That's the Indiana County Water Rescue Team. This happened yesterday at a boat dock along Clarksburg Road. Crews had to cut through the ice to get to the person. There apparently was a second kayaker, too. That person did not fall out of the kayak, and both of them are expected to be okay. Pennsylvania's water is about to get cleaner thanks to the Growing Greener program. More than $34 million from the state DEP will be used to fund 149 projects. They're in Allegheny, Beaver, Washington, and Westmoreland counties. Caught on camera, some of the worst red light crashes. Look at that in the last year. The lesson for drivers as we head into 2021.
I've been doing this for almost 40 years, and I certainly have never experienced anything like this before.
They've dedicated their years to keeping others healthy. How local safety workers are getting some protection of their own. Welcome back. 500 doses of the coronavirus vaccine had to be thrown out because someone apparently left them out of the fridge, and now we are hearing it was likely on purpose. So this happened near Milwaukee. Initially, the hospital where it happened said that the doses were left out accidentally, but now they say the employee did it on purpose. That person has been fired.
It was nothing. I really had a slight soreness in my arm that evening, which was very, very similar, probably less to the flu shot, and that was it.
I think it's so interesting to hear from all the people who have been getting the vaccine and what the experience has been like. You know, protecting our frontline workers has been certainly one of the key parts of the pandemic here. First responders in Western PA have started to get the COVID-19 vaccine, and that includes EMS services like Allegheny Health Network and the people that they work with. So Channel 11's Michelle Newell talked to a paramedic you just heard from here. He's very grateful for that extra layer of protection.
This last month and a half has been unbelievable. Just see many, many COVID patients day after day, and many of who are very, very sick.
Every day they are on the front lines facing COVID-19 head on.
I've been doing this for almost 40 years, and I certainly have never experienced anything like this before.
Shaler-Hampton EMS providers respond to every call with protection.
It's strenuous. You know, every single call we go on, our crews are wearing masks and eye protection and gloves, and depending if it's a verified or highly suspected COVID case, it's even more gear than that.
Now they're adding another level of protection to the job.
We were enrolled through AHN, who's our medical command agency, received our first vaccine a little more than a week ago, got scheduled for our second vaccine coming up in the beginning of January.
Eric Schmidt is the executive director chief for Shaler-Hampton EMS. He just received the COVID-19 vaccine.
It was nothing. I really had a slight soreness in my arm that evening, which was very, very similar, probably less to the flu shot, and that was it.
So far, Allegheny Health Network has helped vaccinate nearly 300 external EMS providers and roughly 300 AHN EMS providers.
We thought from day one, absent any other plan, we were going to proceed and move forward with vaccinating our EMS provider partners because they are on the front lines.
Bob McCon is the vice president of pre-hospital care services for Allegheny Health Network. He says hundreds of EMS providers have showed interest in getting the vaccine.
Around 700 initially. Now I believe we're probably upwards of, I'm thinking probably around 900 that want the vaccine.
The vaccinations will be done in phases.
It really is the greatest hope we've had since this all started in March.
I'm Michelle Newell for Channel 11 News.
All right, switching gears here, checking in with some weather on this last day of 2020, and meteorologist Jessica Faith is in. So we had a little bit of snow this morning, kind of dry now. What are we thinking for the beginning of 2021?
We're thinking, unfortunately, a soggy scenario. Rain chances coming back, widespread showers, mainly second half of the day, and I'll show you that timeline coming up in about 15 minutes. Here's a look outside right now. Not seeing sunshine. We are seeing the cloud cover, 33 degrees, so not seeing a lot of warmth either. Again, I'm going to show you the timeline for tomorrow's rain chances and also give you a sneak peek at what we expect for the weekend.
Sounds good. Thank you so much, Jessica. PennDOT is extending expiration dates for CDLs and for permits. So they're now good through February 22nd of next year. Now, just to be clear here, this does not apply to non-commercial driver's licenses. Your next trip on the Pennsylvania Turnpike could cost you a lot more. Starting this weekend, there'll be a 45% surge if you don't use an Easy Pass. So you can find those new rates on WPXI.com. All right, here's a top 10 list you definitely don't want to find yourself on. The worst red light runners caught on camera list. Take a look here. The company that makes red light cameras, I know this is really tough to watch these crashes. They put together this footage. You can see all of these cars. Really serious crashes here, and the hope is that these videos will convince drivers to obey traffic laws and to always stop on red. The safety cameras that recorded the violators, they can also be used to record license plates and then also help police capture hit-and-run drivers. And more details now. The study of red light safety cameras in large cities shows that they can reduce deadly accidents caused by running red lights by 21%. From the Supreme Court to the basketball court and beyond, we lost some of the world's most influential people this year. Coming up, a look back at their lasting contributions. Welcome back. This has been a tough year for all of us, and especially all of the lives that we lost this year. Some of the people who passed away, they had huge legacies and wide-ranging impacts. Mark Barger takes a look at a few of those famous faces whom we said farewell to in 2020.
How wrong it is to judge people on the basis of what they look like.
The passing of Supreme Court Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg ended her nearly half-century battle for equality, one that inspired new generations to continue the fight. Inspiration was also central to John Lewis's legacy.
You must get out there and push and pull and make America what America should be for all of us.
His struggle against social injustice carried him across the Edmund Pettus Bridge and eventually into Congress, where he became one of its most influential members.
I prefer it over Euclidean coordinates.
The movie Hidden Figures enlightened most of us to Katherine Johnson's impact long after the fact.
He knew that if I had done it, it was right.
She broke race and gender barriers in the 60s, contributing calculations critical to putting man in orbit and eventually on the moon. Journeys that Chuck Yeager also paved the way for.
I'm no hero. I'm just a kid that, you know, it's the right place, the right time.
But he also became the first pilot to break the sound barrier in 1947. At the dawn of rock and roll, Little Richard was the wake-up call.
My friends thought I was crazy, and my cousins thought I was a kook.
But hit records and flamboyant style made him a pioneer.
You got to know the whole.
Crossover appeal in country and pop music powered Kenny Rogers to a career with 24 #1 hits and sold-out concerts around the world.
Not many people get to see the end of the rainbow, and I think I have.
It was not Eddie Van Halen's voice, but his genius on the guitar that put a stamp on the 80s, influencing decades of wannabe rockers. Kobe Bryant wanted to be the best when it came to basketball.
Kobe Bryant.
5 NBA championships and a scoring ability few could rival, making him among the world's most popular athletes.
This has been absolutely beautiful, you guys. I can't believe it's come to an end. You guys will always be in my heart.
When movies needed a tough guy,
anybody else want to try their luck?
Kirk Douglas was often the one to call.
Bond. James Bond.
Or maybe Sean Connery, the first 007, who also earned an Oscar and later a knighthood. Playing real-life heroes Jackie Robinson, Thurgood Marshall, and James Brown put Chadwick Boseman on the Hollywood map.
Wakanda forever!
But his role as a superhero in Black Panther made him a transcendent figure.
We all have a superhero in us.
If there was a king of television,
50 years ago I was a page right here.
Regis Philbin may have had the crown. More appearances than anyone.
Are you serious?
Too many fun moments to count.
What is, we love you out. That's very kind. Thank you.
One Jeopardy contestant spoke for millions. Affection for Alex Trebek. His passing from cancer, just one of hundreds of thousands of cherished loved ones lost during a 2020 we'll never forget. Mark Barger, NBC News.
The last one still gets to me. Had the glorious opportunity of meeting Alex Trebek earlier this year, and he is just such a humble person, and I know he appreciated everybody who was thinking of him all year. So we're thinking of all of those who we lost this year. And if you want to watch the conversation with Alex, because it was a really neat one, you can go on WPXI.com and catch that.
Nearly half of them believe that 2021 is the year to find love.
Dating during a pandemic, it is different, but very popular. How singles are staying in touch, at least virtually.
We'll enjoy dry conditions for the rest of this year. Going into next year, we start things off on a soggy note. I have your latest storm tracker, so stick around.
REI is closing its store in Settlers Ridge up in Robinson. They said in an email, thanks for 11 years of memories. They didn't say why the store is closing, though, but the REI on the south side is staying open. Are you single? Well, online dating is really ramping up as we get closer to the peak day for online dating. Channel 11 morning anchor Catherine Amenta has ways to navigate the world of virtual dating.
More hopeful matches are looking for love online as we approach Dating Sunday this weekend, typically the busiest day of the year for dating apps.
There's a mix of New Year's resolutions, there's maybe some post-holiday breakups, Valentine's Day is right around the corner.
An annual boost to a record-setting year for the online dating industry, which has seen drastic growth since the start of the pandemic.
I'm nervous.
The Match app saw a 40% increase in engagement, according to Match Group, which owns a family of dating apps, including Hinge and Tinder.
This year, we're expecting Dating Sunday to be maybe the biggest day dating apps have ever seen.
Beyond more users and messages, the latest data also points to a shift in how users are connecting.
Hi.
According to popular dating app Bumble, video calls on its platform have increased by 70% since March.
Our users are really adopting something called slow dating. I'm calling it the new speed in town.
Getting creative with virtual dates to build trust online before meeting in person. In this busy season between the holidays and Valentine's Day, Bumble is offering tips on its new dating guide, such as how to navigate the COVID conversation.
I think a key thing to keep in mind is it has to be brought on early on.
Despite the challenges of pairing up in a pandemic, Bumble's data shows daters are optimistic.
Nearly half of them believe that 2021 is the year to find love.
A new year and a new norm for dating. Catherine Amenta, Channel 11 News.
All right, if you're interested, experts from Match and Bumble say the best time to log on is this Sunday between 7 p.m. and 10 p.m. Apparently, that's when a lot of people are going to be online and most likely to respond. So keep that in mind. If you're watching TV at that time, check your phone too. Papa John's is going to pay some bonuses to its workers, 14,000 of them for all of their hard work during the pandemic. Who hasn't ordered a pizza this year, right? So in all, it's going to cost the pizza giant more than $2 million. Company says, though, their employees' dedication was very key during a very difficult time. Papa John's has also donated more than 500,000 pizzas to healthcare workers, essential workers, and first responders in so many different communities. Thanks so much for doing that. All right, let's talk about that Target recall we were mentioning about hundreds of thousands of infant clothes. They could choke or pinch your baby. So the first involves some infant swimsuits. Maybe you have these in some of your kids' drawers. Target says that about 181,000 Cat and Jack infant toddler one-piece swimsuits were sold. The snaps on them can break off, and then, of course, that can be a choking hazard for your kid. Now, the second recall is infant rompers. Okay, Target has gotten reports that the snaps have broken off of these as well, and those can certainly scratch the children. So, again, it's the swimsuits, and it's some of those rompers, and they can be choking hazards. So just contact Target for more information if you happen to have any of those clothes inside your house. Another recall to tell you about this afternoon involves our other family members, our pets, the sports mix pet foods for dogs and cats. Now, apparently the food is potentially deadly, has some deadly levels of a toxin in it. And the FDA says at least 28 dogs have died and at least 8 of them have gotten sick. So pet owners should stop using this sports mix and talk to your vet.
Your severe weather Team 11 forecast.
Happy Thursday, the last day of this year, the last few hours of this year. We're going to wrap up this year on a dry note. Here's live storm tracker Doppler 11 radar, but the clouds will still be out this afternoon, kind of loosening up as we go closer to sunset. So later this evening, mostly cloudy to partly cloudy. We're still going to be very cold, not getting out of the 30s. We will peak into the mid to upper 30s, close to 35 degrees, project a high 36, falling back into the 20s tonight. Here's a look at tomorrow. So we bring in the first day of this year on a soggy note, very wet, increasing rain chances as we go throughout the day. So first thing in the morning, not really going to see too much, increasing rain chances for the afternoon and evening hours, looking at even a wintry mix mix possible throughout the day as well. So really not a good day to be out and about unless you're out first thing in the morning. Now here's the weekend. You may want to enjoy the first weekend of this new year on Saturday with those showers that will be moving through on Friday. Just a few leftover showers possible on Saturday morning. Very isolated, very spotty. Most of the area very dry. We continue with a few hit and miss showers into the afternoon, but later into the afternoon, looking quiet. Saturday's still a pretty good day to get out and about. Now, I wouldn't suggest that for Sunday. Sunday brings a chance for wintry mix, so we could have some snow, some sleet, some rain, maybe some freezing rain pushing into the area here Sunday morning. Looking to have some snow right around I-80, and we keep rain chances rolling as we go throughout the day on Sunday as well. So we have some showers moving in and out, so a wintry mix expected for Sunday. So wrapping up this year on a quiet note. We were pretty active this morning. Going into next year, starting out in the morning, quiet, but don't forget your rain gear because you'll need it second half of the day, even as early as the late morning hours. Here's your 5-day forecast. Again, I mentioned those leftover showers for Saturday morning, very isolated, increasing chance for precipitation on Sunday. Monday right now, looking quiet. Temperatures look to be in the 40s for most of the 5-day forecast for the highs. Now today looks to be the coolest day. Tonight getting very cold. So again, if you are headed out and about first thing in the morning, tomorrow morning, because we're dry, just make sure to have your heavy coat in hand. Temperatures reaching near 50 degrees tomorrow, and Saturday on the warmer side as well. 40 degrees for the high for Saturday and Sunday and Monday.
All right, that doesn't sound too bad. Thanks, Jessica. Here's local steals and deals. Lisa Robertson.
Hey, Lisa Robertson here with Local Steals and Deals. How would you like to have one of the most influential chemists in the beauty industry give you something no one else has? That's BeautyStat, and Ron Robinson is the founder and the owner, and he's here with us. How you doing, Ron?
Hey, Lisa. So excited to be with you here today.
It is so good to have you here, and I know that you have been a mover and shaker in beauty for a long time, right?
That's right. I have been in the industry over 20 years. I've formulated and developed products for big brands like Clinique, Estee Lauder, Revlon, Avon, L'Oreal. But during that time, I've always been fascinated with the ingredient vitamin C. And so I created the company BeautyStat with a mission to create the best vitamin C serum. Now, vitamin C is a great ingredient for the skin, there's no doubt, but it's notoriously unstable. We solved that problem. We have 3 patents on the ability to stabilize pure vitamin C. So in our BeautyStat Universal C Skin Refiner, it stays pure and potent from the first drop to the last.
Wow. And if I'm sitting at home, very quickly, why is it important? What does it do for my skin when it's stable and when it's fresh?
Well, in our product, it's clinically tested and dermatologist approved to reduce the look of fine lines and wrinkles, firm and tighten skin, even out skin tone, and diminish the look of pores. It really does it all.
And very quickly, so who are some of the beauty magazines already talking about this?
Yeah, Lisa, just last week, we were so excited that Oprah Magazine named our product one of the best vitamin C serums. And Allure, Cosmo, Harper's Bazaar, Good Housekeeping, all of them have named it as one of the best. And so we're super excited to be able to bring it to consumers.
Thanks, Ron.
Thanks, Lisa.
You can get these 3 amazing ideas at localsteals.com. The exciting thing is Ron is offering this at 50% off. Just go to localsteals.com and you get great beauty.
3,
2, 1.
Happy New Year in Australia. We get to do this in about, well, going on just 11 hours or so now. But they have already been able to say goodbye to 2020 in Australia there. And like a lot of places around the world, they do have restrictions in place there. They just had fireworks for 7 minutes and people couldn't actually go look at them. Okay, I want you to look at this. This cake takes the cake this year. This is the Kiss 2020 Goodbye Cake. Take a look. It's going to make your mouth water here. It's either a chocolate or yellow cake with peanut butter frosting, a giant 7-ounce Hershey Kiss on top. You know, it looks like one of those little cookies that people make at Christmas time, peanut butter blossoms. Oakmont Bakery came up with this idea, and they are selling the Kiss 2020 Goodbye Cake for $17. It sounds delicious. We're so glad that you spent your last day of the year with us here at Channel 11. Our next newscast is coming up tonight at 5. You can get breaking news updates anytime by just downloading our streaming apps, or you can watch it on WPXI Apple TV, on Roku, or Amazon Fire. We hope you have a wonderful day and a very safe and happy New Year.